Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is Kidlit Joy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to review The Lonely Lunch Club by Maddy Mara and Laura Stitzel. This is one of the first releases in a new series of books by Firm Press, who sent this to me for review, called Your Next Read. And these books have two different categories. There is the silver category, which has a target audience of 5 to 8 year olds. And then there's also a gold category, which is 7 to 9 year olds. Obviously you can play around with those age categories because age does not necessarily define your ability to engage with a book. But this series is designed to hook kids into reading by letting them know exactly what to expect in the book. So on the side, you'll see that there are some little icons. There's also the complete collection of icons on the back with the ones for this book highlighted. And inside the book, it also explains what the highlighted icons mean. So in this case, this book is about friends, school, and funny stories. So the blurb on the back says, do you like friends, school, and funny stories? Then this is your next read. One lunchtime, Benji goes to the worst bench in the whole school instead of playing footy. There he meets a girl named Alice and a spider named Mabel, and Mabel needs their help. But can Benji and Alice do it alone? Benji is really our perspective character. He comes to this bench one day and Alice questions, why aren't you playing footy? And he's like, I don't always play footy. He clearly does, because every character we meet in this book comes up to Benji and asks him, why aren't you playing footy on the oval? But there's obviously something going on, and as we find out that Benji's done something he's not very proud of, and it caused another student to be injured, and he's feeling really guilty about that. He feels like it's completely his fault and that he's really done the wrong thing, but he doesn't quite know what to do with that. So he's at this bench by himself. He meets Alice there, and Alice introduces him to Mabel, the spider. Across the course of the week, a number of other students join them at the bench, and they come up with the idea to restore this bench and to make it into the best bench rather than the worst bench in the entire school. It's about friendships and play and how it can be really overwhelming when things don't go the way that you expect them to go, and how do you deal with that. It's written in a very simple style, so it's very easy for kids to read. There's large text, lots of illustrations, very relatable content for kids. So I'm really interested in this series as a whole because a Firm Press and Your Next Read did send me quite a bit of information. This is one of the first books that's being released. I'm actually going to go through some of this information because I think it's just useful for people to know. So it is a go-to first fiction series for Australian kids in a collaboration between a Firm Press and the creative minds behind Your Kids Next Read. So a big part of this series is making it really clear for kids what kind of story that they're going to expect based on different kind of topics or themes. The color categories of silver and gold helping to identify whether it is for sort of early chapter book readers or readers who have maybe a little bit more experience or a bit of a wider vocab. I haven't seen one of the gold books yet, so I don't know necessarily the difference between the language and the amount of text in the book. So I'm kind of interested to see that when they come out. I'll probably try and get a copy of one of them. They say Your Next Read is built around one core belief: keeping children reading is just as important as teaching them how. And that's so important because you want kids to want to pick up books. It's one thing to teach them to read, but to teach them to have a love of reading is a very different thing. And you can have a love of reading before you can read a book. And if you love reading before you learn to read, it does help that process because kids have a self-determination that they want to learn how to read because they want to do it themselves. So it's an interesting thing, particularly as a teacher. So in March, there are 4 books coming out in the Silver series. In July, there are 2 more in the Silver series coming out. In October, there are 4 of the Gold books being released. And then in 2027, every month, there will be 1 Silver and 1 Gold series book released. They're working with authors, so we've got Maddy Mara, Peter Chong, Jane Godwin, Jade Godwin, Anita Heiss, Kylie Howarth, Tom Jellett, Maddy Mara, Jasmine McGoffey, Katrina Nanstead, Cheryl Orsini, A.L. Tate, Kate and Joel Temple. I've read a number of those authors. They are amazing. And it looks like they're going to be going pretty hard on marketing for this, which I think is great for kids' books. So I was sent this unsolicited for review, but I'm really glad that it was sent to me because I had not heard anything about the series yet. So I'll definitely be on the lookout for a few more books. One other thing that I did really like is that at the end of the book, there is a quiz for how to determine your next read. So it's like those old quizzes where you are asked a question, you have 4 multiple choice options, and you keep track of how many A's, B's, D's, or C's that you answered. I did do it and I got mostly D, Spooky Seeker, so I'm going to need to see if there are some spooky books that come out from this range. I'm super keen to see where this series goes and how well it does. I'll definitely take this into the classroom and test it out with the 7-year-olds in my class because they fit very neatly into this category. And thank you again to the publishers and to Your Next Read for the review copy. In the description, I will leave more information about the book down below, as well as links to find out more information about this series in general. In the comments, I would love to know, have you read this book? Are you planning on picking up anything in the series? Feel free to let me know. Otherwise, feel free to leave a spider emoji to let me know that you're here. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.